Worth Workers, we are here with my two favorite guests, Miss Zion and Mr. Bradley.
It's us.
It's us. Siblings.
And yes, my siblings / besties. Today we are talking about, what is the title? You don't have to be alone, the importance of friendship while you're healing, because this is my 25th episode, and so I had to bring my besties back because we're celebrating that we're halfway through the season 1. Yay. And they have just done so much for me, and I'm so grateful that they could be here to talk about, you know, how important it is to have a support system while you're healing. Okay, so Zai helped me through many hard things, and I'm so grateful for her example, and she helped me to believe that I was lovable and beautiful. So thank you, Zai. And Bradley has always told me to fight for my dreams and has helped me recognize that I can do it, because like he started his own business, so inspiring. And I was like, tell me all your ways. And then he offered me support and held me accountable when I needed to be. Oh, also Zion told me the truth when I needed it with kindness, and I appreciate that so much. So needless to say, they are an excellent support system, and so I wanted them here to talk about, the importance of it. Do you feel it is important to have a support system while you're healing, and why?
Yes. I personally just feel like I could go, I'm literally a talker and I could talk about this forever. But when it comes down to it, the answer is just yes. Like, I just feel it is very important that when you're going through anything and you're trying to come out of it, you just need people that you can rely on, because we're not meant to go through hard things alone. Like, it can build character, and like having solitude in life is really important, but it is just so helpful to have people you can rely on. And I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, because we're not meant to have to go through these really hard things on our own.
Thank you. I know for me there's a tendency to like not ask for help. So what do you guys think about like working through that tendency to be like that independence, that hyper independence? Because for me, I'll just give an example. I was in Utah and I was super mono-depressed, and like I had one friend, and I felt really guilty about asking only her for help all the time, which is why I decided to move home, because I just like needed a little more support. Because I did have other friends, but they didn't really know what I was dealing with, and so I moved home. It was a great decision. I had more family support, but it was kind of like at that point, do or die, because it was like I'd either leave this world or like move home. Those felt like the two options. I moved home, which I've talked about before on this podcast. But it was really hard for me to ask for help, and you know this too. Like, I'm awful at asking for help, and I think because you created a place of safety for me, where I just like, no matter what I do, I feel like you're gonna love me anyways. So I think that's helped me to like be able to ask for help. What about you guys?
I think one question I've had to ask myself in the past is this really independence? A desire for independence, or is it fear? Because at least for me, I want to be able to say I can do things on my own, but when I'm not reaching out for help, it's because I'm scared. How are they going to react to me? Am I making this a bigger deal than it needs to be? I feel like it's actually fear, at least for me. What do you guys think? That's a real question, actually, I'm going to pose back. Is it a need for independence, or is it fear?
I completely agree. I think fear has held me back, because like I've had a fear of abandonment my whole life, and so that has just been my guiding light for my whole life. I feel like until these past years, where it was just like, no, I don't have to live through fear anymore. I can live through love and just like trust that even if I feel like, I don't know, it just feels like the stakes are so high sometimes when I want help. Like, I think this one time I was so afraid to ask you for hugs. because you hadn't hugged me for a little bit, but I just like wanted a hug, and I was like terrified to ask you. But when I did, you were like, "Ask me anytime if you need a hug," and I was like, "Oh, right." But it was like full on panic when before that, but after you like totally just like ease whatever, and now I know if I like really need a hug, I can just ask you, and I don't have to be afraid about it. So I think it was your kindness that helped me get over that. But yeah,
I think that's very insightful. I think also we can ask ourselves, yeah, is this fear independence? And then if we're fearful, is it because of work we haven't done? Or is it because these people are like unreliable or not good people in our lives? And so, like, just a lot of reflection of, is it me? If it is me, what do I need to dive into? If it is these people, how am I going to move forward with my relationship with them? Do I need to set boundaries? Do I need to not communicate with them as much? Because it is so important to have people you can rely on. So I love that. That was a good, insightful question.
yes, very fair. What qualities do you look for in others, like kind of going off of like deciding if this person is reliable or not? So I'd say trustworthiness is something I look for. Reliability. Are there any other qualities you look for in a support system? And someone you want to invite into that?
I would say I can boil down most of the values, because there's a lot, like honesty, trustworthiness. I boil them all down to, am I connecting with myself through connecting with them? Or in other words, like, do I feel like me when I'm with them, right? Because I feel like people who make me feel like me have those values. So for me, I've kind of boiled it down to this one little golden stick I try to like hit these people with. I'm like, do you do you fall into this category? And that's one thing I've used.
Yeah, I love that. I was honestly thinking something similar. I've been thinking a lot about like who helps me feel the most like myself when I'm around them. Because I've reflected on a lot of people in my life, and a lot of people have done that, but then I've also encountered relationships with a lot of people who I feel where I have to like dim my light so they're not uncomfortable. And I feel like that is when those feelings of fear or unrelatability or like building up walls comes in. And so really to like pick people who are authentic, and that is literally the perfect way you can do that, is just being like, how do I actually feel around you energetically? Do I feel like you're authentic? Do I feel like a really big high right now, but then when I'm away from you I feel really anxious? Because when you're able to pinpoint those things, then when it gets really tough, it'll be way easier to decipher who has your back.
Yeah, when we're talking this like team, like choosing these people, like a support system, I think such an important part of it is choosing a diverse team too. No one person can replace your whole community. So you need like a group. And I found for me, if I intentionally choose people who fulfill different needs, I'm happy. So like I have friends who I'm like, oh, this person is fun. They make me smile and make my heart just like light. And I'm like, oh, this one's a good listener. Like I really sometimes need listeners. Or this person is a solver. When I bring a problem to them, they have solutions. Or even like, this person's candid and direct. This is my business buddy. This person has the same interests as me. Like I try to choose a very diverse team to keep me afloat in the hard times.
Yeah, so support in kind of like different areas of your life. I can totally see that. Yeah. No, thanks so much. I love that. That's very true. Just like, how do I feel? I feel like that was the question I was not asking before. It was more like, how are you? How are you? Are you okay? Is everyone okay? Like, thanks for being here. Glad I could be here too. But now it's like, do I even want to be here? And I think that's really important that you take yourself into consideration when you're, making these decisions about keeping people around in your life. And especially when you need to share like hard truths or whatever. I'd prefer to hear a hard truth about myself from someone who I know like loves me, because they're doing it out of love. Whereas like if somebody was like, you're crazy, I'd be like, bitch, excuse me, I would be way more offended.
Fair. Yeah, I think part of this too, we all keep bringing up, is like at times some people don't fit into this team anymore. And I think that's okay. Like it's okay if someone you love dearly, like no longer fits into this support system anymore. And you can still love them if they're not, even though they're not going to be close.
Yeah.
I think we've all experienced that.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Everyone listening to this has had friendships come and go. And I think that's actually a really beautiful part of life, too.
That is.
Oh, thanks for seeing it that way.
Yeah, that's really
I know, I
cool.
definitely struggle with that. Like, losing a friend in any way can be very painful.
Yeah.
Like, for me, in the past, it has been. But very true. Like, I've been grateful for the time we've shared, and I can see, like, the role they played in my life at that time. But yeah, I think that's very true, that you can love somebody, but, like, not have them be supporting you. So, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, like seasons even.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have seasons of life, and I think friends fit into those seasons in different ways. So, anywho.
Awesome. Were there times when you didn't know what you needed, and how did you ask for or seek support in those situations where it just felt like lost, just really lost? Like, what did you do in those situations? Did you just like hide away, or like how were you able to ask for help? Like, was there any situations coming to mind that sound like this?
Well, I think people closest in our lives can tell when something's off. And when, personally in my life, sometimes when I have felt lost or I don't know what I've needed, I've really learned from this, but I kind of just like retreat or isolate myself instead of being honest and having good communication and saying, hey, I actually don't know what I need right now, but, you know, I just love your presence in my life and I don't want that to change. And so just keep being yourself, because I think it's easy for people in our lives, and I know I've had this experience with other friends who are going through that, where, you know, there's isolation or lack of communication, and then like you don't know how to help, or you don't know what to do, or you don't I don't know, like lack of communication just leaves room for assumption. And so I think I've learned from experiences where I've isolated to communicate, because I've done a bit of both, where like in the past I just didn't know how to talk about it or didn't even know what I needed, and then I was like, okay, well, that's not helping anyone move forward, not even myself. And so being able to just say and admit, I don't know what I need right now, but this feeling is temporary and I'll figure it out. And I have people in my life who want to be there for me, whether they can do something or can't.
So in that space, like, what would be helpful to hear from someone who's trying to support you?
I think just like knowing they're present, saying, hey, like, I've noted, I don't know, just good communication is literally solves everything. And so just being like, hey, I've noticed things are a bit different, or hey, like, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Because, you know, assumption. I literally read this from something else on TikTok the other day. It was like, it makes an ass out of you and me. And like, I just love that so much, because it really does. It really does. Do not assume anything. And so, yeah, just asking how they're doing, and then also sometimes just saying, hey, like, do you want to catch up, or hey, do you want to go do this? Because sometimes people don't know how they're doing and they don't know how to respond. And so, I don't know, just kind of having emotional awareness and reading the room helps.
And I feel like even in the past year, there was a time where you were going through a hard time and had said, I don't know what I need.
I do remember, and I think like I had expressed to you I do feel lost, and you were just like, well, I'm here for literally anything you need. And I think being a safe space for people, even if words can't be spoken, because that happens in situations sometimes where like you just don't know what to say or don't know what to do, just knowing that like someone's there for you creates safety and assurance that like everything will work out, and you have provided that.
And for me in my head, like I wanted to try to be a good friend to you. And so I remember like plotting and thinking like, okay, what can I do? Like maybe I should call more. Maybe I can do this. I think I remember even voicing some of that. Like I actually remember saying like, do you want me to call you every day? And you're probably like, no, do not call me every day. Like, but I remember like trying to brainstorm for you to help when you were in a space where you couldn't think of things that would help.
Yeah.
Not, I don't know if that actually helped, but that's what I
Yeah.
did.
No, it's great. I honestly don't remember, like,
Oh, perfect.
some of it's a blur, but I just remember the feeling you gave me, and that was like safety and just a surety that everything would be okay. So
I'm
yeah.
glad. I love you.
I love you too. Yeah, that really was helpful. I do remember that. So yeah, just having people who are there to communicate and check on you.
Yeah, so I'm hearing like phrases like, I don't know what you need right now, but I'm here for you. Or like, if there is anything you need, I'm here for you. Just like, I'm here for you. I feel like
Yeah, it's a great
that's the,
general
because
statement.
like, or just asking like, is there anything you need? And then if they don't know, then just like be patient. I know I've struggled with that. I'm like, do you want this? Do you want this? Where I just like list a million things for you, and I'm like, this is not me listing. This is not helping. So I've had to catch myself. But like now I've learned to just like be patient and like know that in the end you're gonna know what you need for yourself because you're you and you know. And yeah, so just be patient. I'd say like if somebody's going through it and you want to be supportive, like don't force yourself in. And I'd say like ask or tell them one time, because like what did I share that one time? If you're asking people if they need help more than once, it's that's more about control. Because I know for me back in the day, it was like more out of fear that like if I'm not there for them, they're not gonna know that they're loved. Blah blah blah. Like just the fear of like I don't know. It just felt useless. And but that was about me. That was had nothing to do with any of my friends. It was just like how it felt to me. So learning to be patient and just like ask once, and they'll come to you, right? Like you've always come to me, like, can you help me with this? Of course, happy to.
Love that.
That's a good point, because the person also has to want to be helped. If they're
Yes.
looking, you know, they have to be looking for help.
Yeah.
And you're right. You can't control them and force them to accept that assistance.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to argue a little bit with you guys.
Okay.
Right now. That's combat.
Let's just stir it up.
So I would actually argue, well, it's not an argument, it's an addition.
Okay.
I would put forth that like saying, if you need anything, I'm here for you, is good, but it becomes not helpful sometimes when we leave it there.
Yeah.
Like I know over my lifetime, so many good intentioned, loving friends have said, if you need anything, I'm here for you. And I would never reach out.
After that,
Yeah.
like you didn't check in.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like even if I was going through a hard time right now and one of you asked me that, I'd be like, that's so sweet. And it would just right over my head. I would never reach out for help.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not like that. Like I have a hard time,
Yeah.
you know, expressing that. I think sometimes a more helpful phrase is, how can I be there for you?
Love that. Yeah.
What do you need? In addition to them knowing that if you need anything, I'm here for you.
I love that. That reminds me. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, just be more direct.
Yeah, that reminds me. I was talking to a friend recently, and like something had happened, and she was like, "Yeah, everyone has been like texting me and asking like, oh, what do you need, or is there anything I can do?" And she was like, "Yeah, I just said I'd let them know," and I was like, "Yeah, like, have you let them know?" And she's like, "No, like, I actually really need this and I want this, but like, I'm not gonna let them know, you know?" Like, and so I think just we all do that where it's like, "Oh, actually, I'd love some ice cream right now, but like, I'm not gonna ask her to bring it to me." Like, I do that all the time where I'm like, "Oh, I actually do need this, but like, I'm too scared to ask." And so being direct in terms of saying maybe like, I really want to do something for you, like, what can I do? Kind of what you just said, like, not giving them an option to say no. And if they're like, really nothing comes to mind, giving yourself a deadline to be like, okay, well, I'll check in midweek to see if anything comes to mind. Have something. Like, I know you're going through this. You just talked to me about it. Like, let me know. And so I just think that, like, helps when... Yeah, because I kind of was like, oh, would that have help? And she's like, yeah, probably. It'd make me, like, less scared to ask. Because sometimes it can feel so silly. Because sometimes it's the smallest things we need help with. And or want. And, like, people are willing. But it just feels like, I don't know. I just feel like in society it's been, like, frowned upon to need help. And it shouldn't be that way.
Or to ask for help. Like, you're weak if you ask for help. The strongest people I know ask for help. 100%. Also, too, this reminds me of, like, when my sister passed away, and I kept getting text after text after text, like, if there's anything I can do, so sorry for your loss. And I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do. Like, my sister's gone. So, like, that's really painful in itself. And then every text I was getting was just, like, reminding me that she was gone. So for, like, the first week, even though I was grateful, like, everybody reached out and it was, like, nice to know that you're loved, it was, like, just so overwhelming to get all those messages. And then finally, in the end, like, what I really needed, because, like, my mind just, like, was not fun. I just needed food. So I started, like, if somebody asked again, I actually asked, your sister was like, is there anything I was like, yes, I would love some shepherd's pie. Like, because I just, like, couldn't think about eating. So I just started eating out, like, because I didn't have the energy to cook anymore. So it was, like, nice to know that people were, like, but they were so happy to, like, if there was anything I had asked for, they would have gotten it for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that one time that was, like, in that time frame where I couldn't even ask you for fries. You were already going to McDonald's. And I was like, if you just so happen to, like, be going, some fries. Like, I didn't even ask you straight out. Yeah. You're like, do you want some fries? I was like, yes. Please. And I don't know why I was so afraid to ask, because, like, you're already going there. Mm-hmm. And, like, I know you're happy to help me. So, like, I don't know why it's still... I'm sure it's just inner work. And to me, I feel like that inner work is just, like, the trust. Like, that's, for me, the abandonment wound. Mm-hmm. I know I still need to work on that. It's just, like, sometimes it feels like this is the thing that will end our friendship. Like, this one thing that I ask. Asking for this sort of thing too much. Like, she will not stick around. But, like, no. You've proven time and time again, like, that you love me no matter what. Like, unconditionally. So, I don't know why I'm afraid. It's just... the wound I haven't fixed. Yeah.
Trauma causes that feeling.
For sure.
I feel like that also bounces into limiting beliefs. I've had that too with friends where I'm like, like, this could end it all, right? But when we realize that not all of our thoughts are truth, right? Like, that thought's not true. Zion's not just, like, bouncing out of here because you asked for fries, right? Right? If we can identify the lies that are popping through our mind just as natural thoughts, we can replace them with truths. And so even in that example, like, recognize the fear. Like, if I ask for fries, she's gone. She won't be my friend anymore. This could be it. When the truth is, Zion is a friend who loves me, knows I'm going through a hard time, and she's free to make her own choices, but I also have to make the choice to ask for help. That's, like, the truth, right? I think we can do that in any instance when we're feeling weirdness with our friends, is just get real clear about, okay, what's fear and what's true about this situation.
Yeah. So helpful. I think after this episode, I'm just going to be like, am I acting out of fear right now? For what?
What was that
when
for?
I'm trying to make decisions. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Are there any boundaries you set when offering support or when you ask for help?
I have several.
Oh, okay, great.
Several. So, this doesn't fit into the boundaries, but one thing I think it's really important to do as a good friend is before you share the trauma, share the tea, the things that are hard in your life, I think it's really important to ask, are you emotionally available? Too often, we know our friends are there for us, but we dump this information on them without seeing how they are. If their little cup is able to receive all that we're about to put into it. Even just the act of asking, I think, can help clear out some room in the cup for you. You know, it's like it helps them reflect to know how much can go into that cup. I think that's really important in friendships. So that's one thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Another one is, like, when it comes to offering support, I have found that I have boundaries in how much support I can offer. So the big one for me is a length of time that a friend will talk about the same issue in their life repeatedly without making any changes in their life or steps towards fixing it. So I've kind of decided, for me, like, a healthy time frame is like 6 to 8 months. I'll allow a friend to, like, keep talking about the exact same issue in their life repeatedly, keep dumping the tea without making changes. And after 6 to 8 months, if they're still not making changes, that's when I have to come in and say, I love you, I believe in you, but we can't talk about this anymore until you start implementing the advice I'm giving you, or trying to take some steps, because that's how you burn out, especially in a friendship.
Love that.
No, I
But
think that's some great advice. Giving it a timeline. I feel like for me, I was like inherent people pleaser, so I just whatever anybody needed, I overextended myself. So I've had to learn: can I help them, and do I want to? And if those things are aligned, then I'll be like, yes, of course, I'd love to. But if it's like, because before I would move things that were in my life, like I'd plan something to do that night, and they're like, can you help me with this? And I'd be like, of course. And then I just have to like move like plans that I already made, so I don't do that anymore. I'm better at like like gauging what's important, I guess, for me.
that's a great boundary.
Mm-hmm.
You're like prioritizing yourself so you can be there for your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. No, yeah, kind of the same thing for me, where I literally would like have plans and then like didn't want to let my other friend down. Kind of the same thing, like this is gonna end our friendship. And I know there have been times where like my friends have been disappointed, like I've had to say no, or things like that. But I just have to remember, like, I'm not responsible for people's emotions. I'm responsible for myself. And when I take the best care of myself, I can be the bestest friend to the people around me. And one boundary that I've kind of set for myself so that unsolicited advice is not given is anytime something comes up, literally every time I ask my friends, do you want me to listen right now? Or would you like my advice or my opinion? Like every time you bring something up, I like, even if it's like 10 times in the day, because I literally cannot stand when I'm having the worst day of my life and I'm just like, oh, like this is rough. And maybe I don't know what I need when I bring it up at first, but as I'm speaking and working through it, it is nice when someone's just like, okay, like I hear you. Would you like my advice? Or I'm just like here to listen. And then when people give unsolicited advice, and it just makes me feel the worst ever. And I think that goes back to what Bradley said about like having specific people for specific things, because there are some people I just don't go to advice for. And there's some people I do, or like some people that I don't tell things to, but like I love saying hi to them. And then there's other people that I'm like sharing my deepest, darkest secrets. And so just like, yeah, setting that boundary for myself so that it like clears the way of like what am I doing, or before they even bring it up, like asking, oh, we're gonna talk about this, like would you like me to just listen right now or come up with solutions? I think that's very helpful.
And how like emotionally mature like that really is, because like I heard out there that like some people, like their brains are wired to be like solvers. Like they hear a problem, they just want to solve it. Like I know a lot of members of my family, including me. Like I'm guilty.
Guilty too. I am a solver too, I think.
Like when I hear a problem, I'm
I'm like, this is. I have 5 ways we can fix this.
let me get to work. I'm about to go to town on this.
You have
but
great solutions though.
do I? No, but you're so right. Like a lot of the time, like our friends just need to be heard. Like a lot of the time, the advice we give like might not even help. You know, like what will really help is the feeling of deep heardness. How do you say that?
Heard the sheep.
No doubt.
A deep feeling of being heard.
Yeah, that's better.
The sheep has come home to pasture.
Come hither. Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, what are some ways you offer your self-support? Because sometimes, genuinely, we just need to be alone. Like, what we need is to, like, figure things out by ourselves. So, like, in those times, what are you doing to, like, help support yourself?
Okay, I just think from experience, before starting to do things that support yourself, knowing who you are and knowing what makes you feel best. And that comes through experience of not knowing at first, but like learning and having that intention of, okay, I feel really crap right now. What am I going to do to make me feel better? And everyone starts from point zero, and so like you're not going to know at first, but like maybe trying journal prompts, that wasn't great. Meditation works so well though. And so like learning about yourself and getting to know yourself the best you can, so that when you do need to support yourself, you'll know what to rely on. I think that's the first step before just trying to like fix yourself with everything out there, because the world is so loud. We have media in our face all the time. And I'm speaking from experience where, like, when I really started struggling in my early 20s, I literally was like, I need to buy these 5 journals, and I need to do yoga an hour every day, and I need to freaking breathe, and I need to go to therapy, and just like literally.
You do need to freaking breathe.
Yeah, well, you do. That's a good one. That's a good one. But like, I just was like so overwhelmed that I would get like this awful paralysis where I just wouldn't do anything, and then I'd feel worse. And so just taking it one step at a time, trying one thing at a time, giving it a check mark, giving it 2 check marks, like one day at a time, because I think it's so easy to be like, go on this self-help journey, and then trying a million things at once and just being like, none of this works, I feel worse. So I hope that made sense.
Yeah. So like being honest with yourself and being like, what am I trying to say? Like, not overwhelming yourself with options. So not distracting yourself as in like, I'm going to do a walk, I'm going to journal today.
Yeah.
Like making a system for yourself, but like finding something that actually brings relief.
Yeah. And like finding what you love doing, because I know I've tried all those things and I'm like, oh, well, TikTok said this one works really good, but I actually really feel good when I do this thing instead. But TikTok says it's not as effective. And so I force myself to do this thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So like knowing what works for you.
Yeah.
Like trying things, but being like, is this actually working for me? Like being honest with yourself about like things that are working for you. And I feel like giving yourself the grace to like be okay with the change, because I used to be an avid journaler. Like every single day I wrote my journal, and then I don't think I've written my journal for like 4 years. Yeah. And like, because it just doesn't align with me right now. So what I do for like relief is go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I need time for myself. I need to think. I'm just going to go for a walk.
Yeah.
And that works better for me to go through my thoughts than journaling does now. And so I'm like, I'm okay with that change because like it's working for me.
Yeah. Kind of what Bradley said, just seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to have a lot of versions of yourself through your lifetime.
Yeah.
So it is okay to change.
For me, some of the most important things are focusing on the basics, taking care of my body. So sleeping, eating, making sure I'm moving. I kind of view myself like a car. Like, I love doing yoga. I love writing in my journal. But that's almost like getting a clear coat on your car when the wheel isn't even on. You know, like, you know, like if you haven't eaten all day, or like you're going to go to yoga and you're going to lose like 2 hours of sleep that night because it's a late night yoga. Like, is that really going to help you in the end? You know, I have to like remind myself of that. Is the basics are the most important.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then you can have room for the like
Yeah.
the juicy clear coat, like, shining up the car,
Yeah.
getting the fresh scent in there, you know? Like
Yeah.
No, very fair, because when you are in distress, it is hard to just focus on your basic needs, like eating or drinking enough water or getting enough sleep. I struggle with sleeping. What else? Yeah, exercise. I mean, the science has proven that exercise is like the number one thing to solve a myriad of problems. So like start there, I'd say. And then, like you said, Adam. Yeah.
I even find that word so daunting, like exercise, like in my own life when I'm
or
like
just move.
Moving.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Let's
the
say
word.
just move.
That's what I love. Is I'm like, I hate waking up in the morning and grabbing some dumbbells. Like I hate that. But I love going on a walk. I love walking around my house and cleaning. Like that's moving.
Yeah.
And I think we need to like count that as that really important foundation.
For sure.
Yeah.
You could dance around.
We all do that plenty.
We do.
Little fairies.
Okay, so how do you go about offering support to others now?
I think just being emotionally aware. Like I love taking care of your vessel, because when you feel grounded and you are just the best version of yourself and you feel good, you can more easily notice how other people are doing. When you take time to slow down and read a room, you can understand, okay, like how's this person doing? What can I do to better support this friend? But when you're not taking care of yourself, you feel chaotic, you're not taking care of the need, like the bare necessities. Is that what you said?
Yep, Jungle Book kind of
Yeah.
reference there.
When you're chaotic, like it is so hard for me to like know how others are doing when I am not taking care of myself. Like when I'm just like everything's a whirlwind in my brain, I just like am less present. And even when I'm like burning out, when I'm saying yes to things I shouldn't be, or like I'm trying to do other things for other people and not taking care of myself, I feel like I am a worse friend. But when I take time to be a bit more selfish, slow down a bit, ground myself more, that is the way you can support people the best, in my opinion.
I actually had an experience. Can I share a little experience
Yes,
about where I
please
think I
do.
had a success
Yeah.
in this?
Yeah.
So just this week, I walked into a room of people. I was feeling pretty good myself, and I could just tell that they were off. And so went up to them, and I asked, I was like, hey, are you doing okay? And I learned right away that she wasn't, but this wasn't the space to talk about it. Later that night, she took the initiative and texted me thanking me for noticing, which was her reaching out for help.
Mm-hmm.
And so in return, I said, hey, do you want to go on a walk tomorrow so we can talk about it? Because we couldn't yesterday. It wasn't a safe spot.
Yeah.
And we did, talked about it. I was able to listen. And in the end, just like felt really close to this friend, you know? And I think this was like a little success where I was like, I think I did it, guys. I was a friend.
Yeah.
I feel like I falter in so many ways, but this was a little case where I was like, oh, I think I helped, you know? And was able to implement some of what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you. Everyone take your turn patting my back.
Can't reach that far, but I do. No, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. I'm sure your friend was so grateful. I just have a question about emotional maturity, because we've mentioned that. How would you like describe someone who's emotionally mature, just for the listeners, I guess?
I think somebody who is very comfortable in their own skin, and someone who's just like really authentic and kind and like has understanding, because I think there are a lot of people who think they're emotionally mature
Mm-hmm.
or understand that they think they are being aware, but I'm literally an empath. Like I'm a sponge. I can really feel people's energy, and I know so many people who are amazing and think they are aware, but like they're just not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that comes from like taking care of your own stuff, doing that inner work we were talking about, like really slowing down. And a lot of people are just really focused on themselves without understanding a room. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people are so focused on like, what's my status? What do I need to do? What's this? But like when you just know yourself deep down and you're grounded, you're not so worried about your status or what you're wearing or who's around. Like you're just kind of like, okay, I'm here, I'm present. What is the room right now? How can I help others around me? Like just being selfless also. That's a big word that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking this similar things, that people who are emotionally immature, there's like almost a selfishness to them. They're like me, like this happened to me, a lot of victimhood, blah blah blah. But people who are emotionally mature are able to not take things personally and feel outward as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just a way about them that they feel like open, like their cup feels more empty, like ready to receive, like the metaphor you were using. Like they just, I don't know, it's like an energy, you could say.
And like accountable as well.
Yeah.
Just very accountable.
Just like they apologize, for lack of a better term, correctly. I don't know. Like, because someone's like, oh, I'm sorry you felt that way. Like, blah, blah. Whereas it's like, oh, what? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah.
I think part of it too is like they have room in their cup for you. They have room to like read the room because they're understanding their own emotions and processing them properly.
Mm-hmm.
They can say like, "Oh, I'm feeling this, and it's because of this." They can do that tracking, because then it allows them to react appropriately to those emotions.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of comes back to that, even that fear, like somebody who's emotionally mature can recognize when they're acting out of fear or even just feeling fear.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can process it and then make better decisions. I think that allows the cup to be more full to receiving and to reading a room better.
Totally, I love that.
Yeah. No, thanks for that follow-up question. Is there any way you could practice emotional maturity or become more emotionally mature? Or do you think it just like, it's more the things we talked about as in like focusing on yourself and like making sure you're okay, your needs are filled to become more emotionally mature? Or are there like things you could do?
I've got a tool. One time in therapy, a therapist gave me this great method. She said, when you're having emotions of any sort, like stop and write down what you're feeling and look at it and ask if it's true. If it's not, write out what is true below it and then circle which one you're going to believe and act on. And so like for me, like I'm a little anxiety monster. So like fear usually we've been talking about a lot, but fear is the one that comes a lot. And so I'll write out like, I'm scared this person thinks I'm weird now because I did this. The truth is like, oh, we all do weird things and people aren't thinking about us as much as we think.
Yeah.
I circle that one, I choose to believe it and I act on it. I'm like, oh, I'm fine, you know?
Yeah.
And I think people who are emotionally mature subconsciously do that with a lot of their emotions.
Mm-hmm. So they're more self-reflective than other people who just like could care less
Totally.
about how their actions affect other people.
And perhaps they're even more willing to dive into like the hard emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we all know people in our lives who have a really hard time for probably really reasonable reasons, like getting into the hard emotions. But I think once you develop emotional maturity, you're like, gotta get in there. Like take the boxes off the shelf.
Totally. No, I love that. And along with that, feeling really strongly about that word accountability, because there are a lot of people who might hear that exercise and say, oh, I love that so much. I'm gonna do it real quick. And then they do it and then they choose to not act upon it. Where they're like, oh yeah, I'm aware, I'm thinking about it. But I've had so many people or seen so many people where they're like, okay, I'm going to look at this emotion, but I'm going to keep behaving the same way I always have. And the way to become emotionally mature, I really feel so strongly about, is really changing for the better. Like actively taking those steps. Like the most emotionally mature people I know have done the hard work. Like dove into those emotions and then like actually have physically done things to make changes, because it's not easy to like dive in, but it's even harder to actually act in a way that is like pushing you to become the best version of yourself. And so many people can look at those emotions and say, oh yeah, those are there, okay, but I'm not gonna do the freaking work that's gonna like make me process this and work through it and react differently next time. They just like keep doing the same thing. And so I think that is the huge difference.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much for answering that, because like there's so many things that we could do to improve. But like I'm grateful for emotionally mature people in my life, because for me, I think that's the greatest quality I can have in a support system, like somebody who's going to like hear my problems and help me process through them in a kind way, because I've found that emotionally mature people are a lot kinder and a lot more authentic, as you said, and a lot more sincere. So thank you for your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
One thing that I feel like, how did we miss this, is like love. You know, like that's the base of these friendships, just like love. Like I look at you two, just like my Zion, my Brit, and I like see into your souls, and I just feel loved, and I love you. You both like add so much to my life, and I'm just grateful for you. So I think like I view you and I'm like, oh, this is what friendship is, and support, and you two really contribute to like why I'm okay in the world, why I'm okay in my skin, you know.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Brad.
That is the base. I don't know how we missed
Yeah,
that.
what were
honestly.
we
Yeah.
thinking? Love is the answer. It's like Elsa, which is like, right, love was the answer all along. And she like pulls all the ice.
No doubt.
Oh,
Oh, well, thank you, Bradley. I love you too, and I love you too. I cannot express to you my gratitude to both of you for the safety you've provided for me and the space that you've given me to be able to heal things. Because, I didn't even know that life could be this fulfilling because you've opened my eyes to, new ways of living. And to, I think part of it, too, was just, because you loved me, I was able to love myself. Because, I knew you two wouldn't lie to me about how beautiful I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been able to learn how to love myself in the ways that you love me. So I'm so incredibly grateful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that is the podcast for today. If no one has, do you guys want to do that? Come up with it. If no one has told you today, what should we say to the peeps?
I would say if no one has told you this today, you are loved. If you need someone to say it, I love you. I believe in you. I think those are very important words. So if no one's told you,
Slay.
we love you. We believe in you.
Love ya. If you want to find Zion, she is at
Zion Nelson _
on Instagram. And if you want to find Bradley, should they contact your website still?
Instagram. Yeah. BV Pierce. BVPIERS.
Pierce your heart.
On Instagram. And you can follow me at trust_your_worth. But you can find me there or at my website at trustyourworth.com. Okay. Thank you so much for being here both. Yeah. Love you both.
Love
And
you.
Number 25, we did it!
Yay.